Union Minister, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, Professor Ashutosh Sharma, Dr. Renu Swarup, Dr. M. Rajivan, Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar, Sri Jayant Sahasrabuddhe, Dr. Anjana Agarwal, scientists, students from across the country who are all watching this program and participating in this program, and my dear sisters and brothers. First of all, happy Christmas to all the people of the country. I am very glad to be present with you virtually at the concluding session of the India International Science Festival. I would have been much more happy had it been actual. But it's not in our hands. Because of the pandemic, we have to go virtual. This conference is organized with a noble intent to further the scientific spirit among common people and to showcase India's scientific achievements. Many events rigorously organized, as was explained earlier, over the past few days. It is heartening to note that this unique annual celebration of science avoided a break this year by utilizing the virtual format. I would like to congratulate CSIR, various ministries, and Vijnana Bharati for this outstanding success. I wish this event continued success in the future too. These 4 events, which were explained by the minister, by the secretary, and by the organizers, showcase the interest of the people, particularly the younger generation, in science. Because science is for the betterment of the humanity. Science, technology, medicine, they are all for betterment of people's lives. To make the people's life more happy. It's not simply making people's life comfortable. We must make people's life more happy. The first is I would like to first appreciate and make people aware of what science and scientists are doing for us. Science is the lifeline of human progress. Hard-working scientists gave us many things, from a light bulb to aeroplane to vaccines that can fight deadly diseases. In fact, we are on the verge of releasing our own indigenous COVID vaccine. Today, the chairman of the Bharat Biotech and other scientists who are working, they met me and they have explained to me the progress they are making. Yesterday, I had a meeting with the Director General, CCMB, Dr. Rakesh Sinha, and other senior scientists, to make me to understand what is happening on this front and the progress that is being made. Beginning with very few testing kits at the beginning of the pandemic, in a span of few months, we have developed cheaper and rapid diagnostics, ventilators, and PPEs. Today, we are even able to export PPEs. That speaks about the capability of our country, scientists, our youngsters. It is in this context that people have to be made aware of scientific developments of the day and the work of the dedicated scientists. In my opinion, there is a second and more important purpose for this event. Science is not just about natural laws and the state-of-the-art technology. Science is also about the spirit of rational inquiry that can guide us in our lives. This is even recognized by our Constitution, which identifies the development of scientific temper as one of fundamental duties. If we imbibe this temper, we can apply scientific methodology to every endeavor of life and make informed decisions. The methodology is simple: inquire, investigate, reason, and satisfied accept. The pandemic has also reinforced the importance of a scientific temper in our lives. One of the major challenges in this has been prevalence of the epidemic, false on the naturalist. Medication and vaccine caused panic and anxiety among the people. That's because of lack of information with confirmation and spread of the false information. It is not vaccine or drugs that can defeat the infodemic, but a rational outlook among the people. A citizenry that can think critically will be immune to such misinformation or fake news. This spirit of inquiry must be taken to the people by the Indian International Science Festival for its efforts in this regard. India has a very ancient background in science. We had stalwarts in every field of science. We have Aryabhatta and Brahmagupta in mathematics, astronomy, Varaha Mihra, an astronomer, and Polymath and Susruta, who was a pioneer in surgery. Their discoveries were truly amazing and much ahead of their time. Even long before these pioneers, our Indus Valley civilization had such expertise in city planning and construction that was unheard of at the time and still puzzles modern mind. Even in the field of science, India's core philosophy has always been share and care. Our decimal system was borrowed by Arab traders, which later spread to medieval Europe. It is in the same spirit that we have not only become the pharmaceutical hub of the world, but we have been extensively sharing these life-saving drugs with the rest of the developing world. We believe in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one big family. We must work for not only our welfare, our country's welfare, but for the welfare of the humanity. That is perhaps why the great botanist, physicist, and the father of radio science, Jagdish Chandra Bose, never filed a single patent despite the many inventions and discoveries he made at the time. It's an understatement to say that India had a long glory of history of science and scientists, but it is appalling that we don't know our own rich history because we were not taught. We were under colonial rule. This should change. We must celebrate our scientific achievements, recognize our people excelling in STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, be it in India or abroad, and encourage children to take up careers in science. India must be a world leader in scientific research once again. My dear brothers and sisters and youngsters, there is a need to inculcate scientific temper at a young age. Children have an inherent curiosity. How we channelize that curiosity is very important. If we encourage them to ask questions and think critically, they become confident, self-assured, and fearless for the rest of their lives. A confident generation means a confident nation. On the other hand, if you discourage them from asking questions and curtail their imagination, they'll forever be dependent on other solutions and remain unsure of themselves. That's why I suggest this to parents and educators. Don't push children to give answers. Instead, nudge them to ask questions. Children should be encouraged to do experiments, not merely read about them in a textbook. Students should be encouraged to discover rather than be told. Rote memorization should be discouraged. An important component to nurture inquisitiveness and kindle creativity in children is the innovative use of games and puzzles. Much more research should be done by designers and child psychologists in this area. I'm happy to notice an exclusive event on toys and games in this event. My dear sisters and brothers, science lays the path to progress and create material wealth for the country. If there's one thing that pandemic has taught us is that we need to invest and sustain research and development and strive to become self-reliant. Our space program is a sterling example of how self-reliance can be achieved. I'm happy that this conference has taken forward the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai's exhortation for Atmanirbhar Bharat through its theme, Science for Self-Reliant India and Global Welfare. To this extent, I also call upon the private sector to partner with various institutes to promote innovation in the country. We should also aim to first achieve self-reliance in critical sectors like electronics and defense. With the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, and nearly 10,000 technology-led startups, India has great potential to become Atmanirbhar in many sectors. We must encourage them. We must recognize them. We must motivate them. We must also recognize that fourth industrial revolution is underway, and we cannot afford to miss this opportunity this time. We must quickly capitalize on our demographic dividend, skill our youth, and ride this revolution to make our unique mark in the world of science. Brothers and sisters, before concluding, I would like to give 3 suggestions on how science and scientific thinking should progress in the coming years. First, we must increase the focus on science education. As I mentioned earlier, I am referring to both education in science, STEM, and in scientific thinking. We must encourage our children to pursue career in STEM, improve the quality of research in our institutes, increase R&D investments, and encourage diversity in the field. As regards scientific thinking, there is no quick fix, but to nurture critical thinking from a young age through revamped pedagogy. Secondly, sustainability should be an intrinsic part of scientific research. We cannot afford to look at sustainability and technology in silos. We need to go for holistic and interdisciplinary approach in science education that address ecological concerns. In this regard, I am pleased to see that many topics such as biodiversity, clean air, energy, waste and sanitation, and water have been highlighted in this conference. Thirdly, science and technology should address the pressing needs of common man. Otherwise, it has no meaning. Cutting-edge advancements like nanotechnology are strategically important. What is critical is recognizing micro-innovations in agriculture, which is our basic culture, handicraft, education, and health. For instance, a reliable low-cost water purifier could potentially save millions of lives. A resilient seed variety can benefit an entire farming community. As I said earlier, in the end, science has to make common man's life comfortable. Once again, I'm very happy to be here with you all today. The Indian International Science Festival, led by the Minister, Dr. Harshavardhan, is gradually developing into a mammoth exercise of public engagement in science. This is the need of the hour. I compliment the organizers for the success in the virtual format. They must utilize the learning from this format to host future events in mixed format. I wish ISF many more years of success in furthering the cause of science and scientific thought. My dear friends, in our eternal search for truth, let us imbibe the rigor of a scientist, the wisdom of our ancestors, and the inquisitiveness of a child. This is all the more relevant in the current times of the infodemic. I would like to conclude with a very popular Telugu poem from Sumati Satakam that espouses a timely message on the spirit of rational thinking. వినదగు నెవ్వరు చెప్పిన విననంతనే వేగపడక వివరింపదగున్. That means, if translate, listen to anyone and everyone, but don't rush to conclusions right away. Analyze it and reason it out. That is the message of that Sumati Satakam. Friends, today also is the birthday of the great son of this great country, Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and also the great educationalist, Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya ji. We have Christmas, we have Atalji's birthday, and we have birthday of Madan Mohan Malaviya. We must take inspiration from these lives. The message from Christmas: peace, peace, love, and affection. Peace is the prerequisite for progress. If you have tension, you cannot pay attention. So we must work for peace. Advancement of science is very useful in strengthening the peace. I would like to once again thank you all. Namaskar. Jai Hind.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद माननीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी, आपकी गरिमामय